Alright, Chapter 24, Automating Drawing the Basics. Solidworks drawing templates formats enable you to automate the repetitive tasks throughout the reuse of the data. Solidworks can insert the information with the drawing created with the materials to be used. They can also be used as similar type of drawings consistent with starting with the point drawing templates and formats. Is also save the settings that you may want to reuse. In this chapter, you will learn to understand the difference between templates for the formats, customizing drawing formats, creating drawing templates for the refined views, and use blocks. Comparing templates and formats. Templates are starting to document certain collections of the document and specify the settings of the default view in the part template. Assembly template, drawing template files. In this chapter, I will cover the drawing template. Formats, more formally called sheet formats, exclusive of the drawing documents contained with the sheet side of the drawing border of the geometry. Text custom property definitions go within text of the drawing border. You can think of the sheets of format underlying beneath the clear drawing sheet. Formats can also include company logo images. You can save formats for the drawing templates. With the fact with this method, I recommended you the SolidWorks defaulted drafting templates for the templates format with initial kept and with the separate. You summarize the side of this format, creating a new drawing with a blank template forever. The format also already in the template size has already been determined, so the templates end up being saved as a specific size. Of course, you can change the formats later if you need the larger drawing sheet, but you cannot change the templates. SolidWorks drawing templates can have multiple sheets, which can have same different sizes. You can use the different format for each sheet. For example, if you want a default 2-page drawing, you could save it as a template in different formats for the first and the second sheets. Changing existing format templates. After you create any document from whatever kind of template, you can change the underlying template. However, if you change all the settings, which is next best equivalent, SolidWorks often offers custom drafting standards which provide some of the functionality of the enableability to swap templates with would archive. You can take drafting standards at ISO, International Organization Standards, American National Standard Institute, make adjustments to it, save standards out of the file with distribute to the others, and you can change the standards using tool, option, document, property, drafting standards from menus. So that's tool, option, document, properties, and drafting standards from the menus. You can load and save standards from the same location. More details of actual changes with the drafting standards coming later in this chapter. While templates cannot be reloaded, formats can. You may want to reload a format, drawing board, or associated annotations. You have made changes for the information line geometry, where you can also reload a format, or change the size of the drawing. Maintaining different templates and formats. Different formats must be maintained for different sheet sizes with the contract design and detailed working. You may need maintain separate format with a different customer. Some people also chose to have different formats for a sheet with a drawing and simplified format with the following sheet. If you put the formats on the template, you end up making a separate sheet. Variously sized drawings, also separate templates are frequently created with the different units and standards. Because templates contain document specific settings, I also keep a blank drawing template with the blank format on it just to do conceptual scribbles to make informal and scribble and printable drawings without baggaging that typically accompanies formal drawings. Alright, SolidWorks can install the default documentation templates for the different standards. Be careful of the difference between drawing, ANSI, and ISO. More importantly, using third angle projection versus first angle projection. Figures 24.1 show the difference between third angle, first angle projection. Third angle is part of the American National Standard Institute standards used in the United States, whereas first angle projection, ISO, standards are used in Europe and other parts of the country. So it's third angle and then first angle. Alright, if you work for the company that does a lot of manufacturing in Europe, you may have to deal with the issue more frequently. Setting with the control of the project angle of the sheet with the properties can access with the right-click menu anywhere the blank drawing sheet with the selecting properties. Creating custom drafting standards, and in many ways, experts very few real-world companies follow any of the single drafting standards perfectly. Even company sheets have the interpretation exemptions to standards. SolidWorks is coming to grips in a particular way. In SolidWorks, you can create your own custom drafting standards equivalent to the established ISO ANSI standards. These standards allow you to save all the settings on the file under the tools option document property to a single standard that you can transfer to other users. You have the tool option document properties. To make your own custom standards, you may change with any of the items listed in the name of the drafting standards shown in Figure 24.2. Then go back to the drafting standard page of the document properties, rename overall drafting standards, save the standard to a file. Once you've made a change to the default setting of the overall drafting standards will be displayed in an American National Standard Institute modified, or as appropriate as your chosen initial standards. You can rename the SolidWorks will show you the standard and it was derived from. To help avoid confusion, I create new standards which is shown in Figure 24.2. Alright, we went to Tools Option Document Properties. We're now looking at Document Properties, Overall Drafting Standards, Uppercase, Lowercase, Table, Notes and Tables, Exclusion Lists, Rename, Copy, Load from External Files, Save External Types, Drafting Standard Type, File Type Extension would be Solid Standard. For someone else in the set, if someone else has sent you a standard file, you can read it into your drawings using a setting shown on the right in 24.2. Assign it an active standard, and your drawing will be assumed on a customized property. If you want to make new drawings with a standard, you can create a template with that standard using a template to create new drawings. On the website, I've said a custom standard file and put in download material chapter 24. You can load the file and opening drawing tools option document property drafting standards using interface. The interface. Creating drawing formats. Even the drawing format is difficult to create and edit. It used to be drawing formats were difficult to edit and difficult to create and edit, requiring imported 2D drawing skills. With additional 2016 sheet format tools, this will all become easier. Sheet format tool drawing adds 3 new tools. Edit sheet format, title block fields, automatic border. These are shown in Figure 24.3. Alright, so your sheet format commander shows the edit block, edit short sheet format, title block fields, automatic border, and that's in the sheet format. Edit sheet format toggles between editing the sheet where the drawing views reside and editing the sheet format where the title block resides. Title block helps you to create standard and link annotation title blocks that can be filled automatically. Custom properties import and assembly documents. Function of these tools described later in the chapter are under the heading using the title block function. Automatic border helps you to place a border zone with the frame of the drawing. This multi-step walks you through deleting an existing border elements, establishing zones, margin, line styles, placing the new border in what is any that shows up in the feature manager, drawing under the sheet and sheet format, where you can edit these by going back to sheet format tools. Not by editing 2D lines. Customizing an existing format. Existing formats created manually or imported can be used. For example, formats installed SolidWorks includes ANSI sizes A through E and ISO sizes A0 through A4. You can probably find enough space on the formats to place a company logo, standard notes, shows, tools, option, file, location, located path of your templates. Remember that you can network drive with the shared libraries. You can only format directly. It must be on the drawing, so get a look at the format you made with the new drawing using format. Templates you've saved the format already. On the skip step of the prompting, you select the format enables you to create new drawings more quickly. The default SolidWorks templates don't have formats. They select one of them. You promptly have selected format immediately. Figure 24.4 shows the interfacing selecting a format that displays after you selected a template for a drawing. This is from Tools, Options, File, Locations. Selecting a format, sheet format size, standard shape, landscape, display sheet size, custom sheets, OK or cancel. Editing format and drawing whether the format has been created using the new or old tools, either the editing the sheet and the editing of the format. You think of the sheet with it being a piece of the transparent mylar over the top of the drawing border format. In order to get the format, you have to peel the back off of the mylar drawing views going onto the sheet, so you will edit the format any drawing views that may disappear. To peel back the sheet with again access to the format, right blank of the sheet and edit the sheet format. Alternatively, you can access the sheet by right-clicking the Sheet tab in the lower left-hand corner SolidWorks window. Be careful of the terms where it includes sheet with the sheet format. The sketch lines for the format will light up in Sketch, becoming active. The editing sheet format message will appear on the lower right-hand corner of the status bar. Lines of the format border a regular SolidWorks sketch. It needs to display a little differently. Sketch relations but sometimes disable in formats because of solving the relations would cause suffering. Software to run loosely, slowly. Typically, trim, extend, and stretch features are the best stretches tools with editing lines. Your most common, you can use most common images types of the insert logo, other image data on your drawing. On the format, choose insert picture. Not all compression styles are supported, however. I have direct difficulty compressed tag the image file format images. Be aware of size of the image when you put it into format because images can be larger. All the extra information from the travel around from each drawing that you created from the format. Figure 25.4 show the bitmap placed in the format. You can resize the image drawing. The handle corners you can move it in by simply dragging the image into the right image of the right. The figure 25 show the taken printed view preview window. I included here to show that the outline around the image that displays what while you are working with SolidWorks does not print. Alright, placing the image. This one's SolidWorks, and then the SolidWorks, the next one, these two placed images. Managing text. SolidWorks allows you to make a text box with the side that covers the wrap. This is particularly useful in drawings. Upper images, figure 24.6 shows the new annotation being added. The lower image shows the simple text box after the corner has been drawn. Adding annotation, wrapping the text. This is enough text to wrap in a couple of lines. Using custom properties. Most important part of the drawing format, custom properties, while the rest of the format is display the custom properties annotation over the fill out with the title box using matching custom properties, either model or drawing document custom properties. Can pull items such as file names, description materials, other properties from a model associated with the sheet. They can pull data for the drawing itself. It should as sheet scale, file name, sheet number, total sheets. If serious, locating, automating drawings. If you're serious locating, automate drawings, you cannot overlook custom properties. Entering custom property data. Custom property data is entered in the part and assembly level. The information that is reused in the drawing format tables such as bill of materials, revision tables, as well as searches view the feature manager filler. All product data management system utilizes SolidWorks custom properties. You enter the data several ways. The two prominent ways are through summary information dialog box, custom properties, and tab in the task pane. Using the summary information dialog box, figure 24.7 shows summary information dialog box functionally existed with the SolidWorks several releases. You can access the dialog box shows and choose file properties from the menu. You can select the property name with a drop-down list type of your own. Assign types of the data into a specific value of the property. Value text expression column also has a drop-down list from which they can select preset variables such as mass, density, even link values used in this property. This is hidden perfectly functional way with the entered data, but the fact that somewhat way are hidden in menus that doesn't get us as much as it should. SolidWorks came up with another way of entering data is using custom property data. Custom property tabs of the task pane enables you to quickly easy access and assign custom properties within the document. Figure 28 shows the process of building your own custom properties tab. You can start with the custom property tab builder either by clicking Create button on the custom property tab, choosing Start Program SolidWorks Tool Property tab builder from the menus. Use the custom property tools. Parts, part number, radio, off-shelf, custom design, manufacturer, custom properties is this little bitch right here. The interface enables you to add drop-down list of the toggles, text entry boxes. This gives you a lot of flexibility with the custom property data entry. Very nice addition to the software. Displaying property lengths. Figure 29 shows the existing custom property formatting and the default format being used for this example. A custom property formatting title block. The syntax as stamp PRP or stamp PRP sheet indicates property that follows the syntax is to be pulled from either the current drawing or from the model specified in the sheet properties respectively. This is an important distinction to make. Most of the time you can enter custom properties at the part or the symbol level so you can reuse the drawing properties, bill of material, and even the design tables. Notice that all the notes of the format are showing raw syntax pulling data from the model drawing. 2 scale notes of the driven scale notes are driven by the drawing. Where when no values exist, the property to display you have the option to do what you show. Top portion of the figure 2410 show the setting of the view, hide, show menu to control the display. Syntax custom property links. In general, it's common to deselect error display and show links and variables. And so now we've got a whole bunch of errors and stuff in a mixed match effect. Displaying error links and link variables. The errors in figure 2410 are caused by links to local documents for which there is no corresponding property. For example, error company name message link to the stamp property company name, but the local custom property company name doesn't exist. If it existed but had a null space value, the error would disappear. Likewise, the option to display link variable selected syntax calls model custom property display until there are some values for it to pull from. If a part is a part onto the drawing, and that some of the properties are filled in because of the property value exists to pull it from, and the rest of the properties simply disappear to make space. Notice figure 2411, the material property has been filled in, the finished property has not. This is because either there is no finished property in the part on the drawing, there is no value of the finished property, and then this shows the custom properties filled in by the bar, by a part. When initially setting up the format, useful to have the dummy model already on the drawing. The dummy model should have all of the custom properties that intended to use their drawing that will prevent the blank field of the error message appearing during the setting. If you drag drop a part of the drawing while editing the sheet format, the views may appear within a split second and then disappear again. This is because you cannot display the drawing view to editing the sheet format. After you exit the sheet format, go back editing the sheet and the views can be displayed at once. Note that if you drag and drop a part on the drawing while the editing in the sheet format, the views may appear in a split second and then they may disappear again. This is because you cannot display drawing views while editing the sheet format. After you exit the sheet format, go back to editing the sheet and then the views can be displayed at once. Create link properties. Creating annotations of the link to the properties are easier because it's creating a note. Annotation, clicking the note toolbar on the annotation toolbar, choose insert annotation note. Place note on the drawing format toolbar will appear. Click the link property to the text format pane with the note property manager. This will display the link to the property dialog box shown in figure 2412, which gives you the option of linking custom property in the current drawing document or in the model part assembly that's on the drawing. Figure 2412, link to the property dialog box, custom property to the current document, bound model download here, current document selection, smart clamp property. If the desired custom property does not have the drop-down list, you can type it into the text box and circle the file property of the button, the edit of the property to the property of the edit to the part file of the part file of the property view of the drawing with the like annotation will pick it up. This button will not be available for the model if there is no model on the drawing, in which case you must type the name of the property manual. Using the title block function. Title block enables the person who sets the sheet format and specifies an area contained with notes for the easy access without editing the format. Many CAD administrators prefer that the user not to have to deal with the details inside of the sheet format. You can even cycle through these notes in specific order by pressing Enter tab. Figure 2413 show the resizable blackboard title block property manager where the title block sits in the drawing feature manager. And using title block table, you can access title block to edit and define right-clicking the sheet format while editing the sheet format. The note, not the sheets. Selecting title block fields, then either edit the existing notes or select new notes at the situation required. The title block resize rectangular box can be any size you like, but it must remain rectangular. You can create only one title block area per sheet format. The area bounded by the title box is use the zoom display to make it easier to fill in the text box. If you want to include areas with a different corner of the drawing title block area, you need to make a title block as big as entry sheet as user manually zoom to each corner. Select each note item to add it with a list of the property manager selection boxes. Use the arrow left of the box to assign the order which the user cycles through the boxes. You can even add a tooltip for each note, but the idea is to use the clickers and clicks in a box within the title block area, fills it in, then presses enter tab to get the next box. The order loops itself if the user doesn't start a filter. First box listed in property manager. You cannot add notes that are already linked to properties into the title block because they will be filled out automatically. The purpose of the title block is really to highlight and speed up the manual entry. Using existing title block, just double-click the title block area designated by the resizable rectangular from the sheet, not the sheet format. Solidworks, it will highlight the fields. Creating a format, import a WG drawing file or DX file. If you want to create your format from an imported drawing or DX file, it will choose the file open to locate the file. If you want to import it, then click it to open. DX or DWG import screen will appear showing figure 2414. Alright, so this shows the DXF drawing import screen. It shows select method, create new SolidWorks drawing, convert SolidWorks that needs embedded sheet native, link to original, import to a new import as 2D sketch, 3D curves that are model, imported MPG data, imports parts and assembly and or drawings. If you're interested in the chapter following along, you can find a sample of files. Use the example to download chapter 24. You'll find a file job asterisk drawing format files. Using any of these, creating a file format, but I suggest you use either A or B size to make a drawing format. You can create new SolidWorks and drawing, converting SolidWorks and these options, although one of the other options containing the word format is being used in the same sense, that don't be misled. When the selection is complete, click next. 2415 shown on the next screen. Drawing layer map screening. Show all selected layers, layers selected with the drawing sheet, layers selected with sheet formats. Model, import this sheet as model, white background. Select layer selected from the file for the sheet format option. Select the TB layer, leaving other layers unselected. Every imported file will be different with respect because of the layers used by title blocks vary widely. Click next when you have made the selection. Figure 2416 show the document setting screens. Alright, the inboard features document settings screens with the document template selection with the geometry position options. Document template selection is important if you plan to save a format with a template, because if the template does not already have the format saved. In geometry position section, you can get software to center the tile block for you. Definitely take the advantage of functionality using center and sheet option. If you're happy with these settings, click finish. The resulting format is shown figure 2417. Alright, from here you can add links, custom properties discussed earlier, as well as logo, images, favorites, blocks, and you can now save the format as described in the layer next section. Saving the format, you can save the drawing formats in two ways: template or separate from the template. You can edit the format separately from the template, but they don't have to be their own file in solid DRT. In this case, if you're wondering how the extension solid DRT relates to sheet format, what is known as the sheet format, you would call the drawing template, or thus DRT. What is now called the template didn't exist in 1997. The shift architecture more important for users. The shift in terminology can still leave many people a bit confused. Saving templates is covered in the next section. Save a format, choose file, save sheet format. You can do this without the format being active. Save the format into location and other formats. Give it a descriptive, unique name. If you haven't done this yet, with a good opportunity to create the separate folder outside of the SolidWorks installation folder. Contains your most frequent use of this files. Remember also to tell the SolidWorks where library location. By choosing tools option, system option, file location, sheet formats. Even if you save the format over the tool, good idea to have the save format on its own, because you might want to use the format existing drawing that has a different format or is to be used on a second sheet. Using second sheet formats, when you have multiple sheets, it's important to have simplified specialized format. Secondary sheet 2418 shows a sample page 1, page 2 format side by side. Alright, it shows the sheet with a exclamation on it. You can add new sheet with the drawing, clicking the add sheet with the right of the sheet tabs at the bottom of the Solidworks window, right mouse button, sheet tab at the lower left corner of the drawing window. You can also add the sheet with the right mouse button on the sheet format in Feature Manager. If you right click the first sheet tab, the sheet as added and gets the format used on the first sheet from that is used on the first sheet. If you right click on the second sheet tab, the added sheet gets the second sheet format. Alright, first and second sheet formats. Or reloading formats. If the format has been changed, you may be to update the drawing new format. This option is available to sheet properties shown in Figure 24-19. Access sheet properties through right menu, mouse button, sheet, feature manager, reload button will update any of the changes in the separate format like 24-19, updating a format through a sheet properties. Sheet properties, you can name the sheet, you can scale it, you can type of projection, name the view, datum, standard sheet size only, standards, ASI, display, leave sheet, sheet format, custom sheet, using customer properties, jump model shown, default, selected sheets to modify. Can same sheet specify documents or update all properties, apply, change, cancel, or help. Creating drawing templates, document specific settings, important parts of the template is best when design size completely set up the way you want it, and then create the other size from the drawing. This helps to ensure that the setting, segment, leader, length, font, and line weight are the same as all the templates. Uniform settings on the drawings give them consistent look and make it easier to read. Drafting standards are controlled by drawing templates. Alright, a page on top of a file. Use your predefined views of the drawing templates. When using a drawing template, one more favorite technique is the multi-view drawing. Quickly is put on one predefined view on the template along with appropriate views projected from predefined view. A predefined view establishes orientation location on the drawing sheet. You can add multiple predefined views, align them with one another or on the drawing so the drawing automatically populated by the model, but isn't recommended because if you decide to change the orientation of the drawing, you must change each predefined view independently. If you set up a single predefined view, make the rest of the views projected views. Changing the orientation predefined view will cause all projected views to update associatively. You cannot directly change the orientation of a projected view. Predefined views and views projected from predefined views appear blank until they are populated with the model geometry. A predefined part or a predefined view is the orientation of a placement of the view. Figure 24-20 shows the template using predefined projected views. You can access predefined views in the drawing toolbar. Although it isn't there deep by default, you can place it on the toolbar by choosing Tools, Customize Commands. Using the interface, you can also access the predefined views by choosing Insert Drawing Predefined. Predefined projected views can also be accessed by drawing toolbars. And then show these different predefined views on the page. After the predefined has been placed, you can select the orientation from the property manager. Figure 24-11. 24-21 show the drawing view property manager orientation for the view set at the top of the orientation pan. In addition to the orthogonic views, you can also create isometric other views as predefined views. After views have been orientated, you may want to create more views on the drawing that has also become populated with the model geometry. This is where the projection views are used. Make sure that the drawing properties are to be set at the correct projection angle. Best result views were created relative to the front view, none of the views being rotated as if they were example of the top view and had been placed on the back and right view. It isn't not the drawing. The many drawing templates include third angle projection simply as part of the title block, which is in the format 21-1. The beginning of this chapter show the first and third angle projection symbols. They are included in block sample data. Solidworks installation blocks are discussed in more detail. Chapter 16, working with assembly and sketches layouts. Drawing view property manager. Alright, shows the display says hidden corners, non-hidden corners, not shaded with the edges. Use parent sheet scale, use parent scale, sheet scale, custom scale per dimension to projected true. Custom thread, high quality, draft quality, save view, drawing view, reference configuration, selected by arrows. Annotations, import annotation design, direct annotation include items with the hidden features, display. Aligning predefined views. You can align views to one another through the view of the right mouse button menu shown in Figure 24.2. Projected views are aligned to one another automatically, but if you choose the predefined view rather than projected views to one side of the original predefined views, you can use the align vertical by origin, align horizontal by origin command. This ensures that the parts or each of the view are aligned. Aligning them by center should not be used for projected views on an engineering drawing because it is guaranteed to line up the edges of the adjacent views. Populating and drawing predefined views. 4 methods of the exist. Populate drawings and predefined views. Drag and drop. Drag apart with the assembly of the feature manager. Drop it into the drawing window. All through predefined views were automatically populated. Insert model. Right click of the view. Then select insert model for the in-face. Browse the model with the display all related projected views. Property manager. Select predefined views from property manager. Select browse. Insert model panel. Make drawing of the part assembly. Click with the make drawing from the part and assembly button in the standard toolbar to select the template view of the predefined views. Select reviewing alignment. Alignment, and then it's over here on the right mouse button. Scaling predefined views. Predefined views are created with the set of the file with the sheet scale with the default height of the menu of the set with the custom scale. If you use the automatic scale option found in the tools option, system option, drawings automatically scale new drawing views. The sheet is automatically changed when the drawing views are populated to make a nice fit with the model geometry in the drawing. Scales view the automatic feature are all standard multiples of 2. They do not even, you don't even have to worry about the odd scale factors on your drawings. Understanding limitation predefined views. Function and expectation predefined views are very straightforward, although a few of these can be improved. The example Solidworks does not allow to create predefined section detail views. Also, view palette doesn't preview populated predefined views using styles and blocks and templates. In SolidWorks, styles function like favorites and notes of dimensions. You can also think of them as working like styles and formatting in Microsoft Word, other word processing software by controlling text format, tolerance, and symbols. Example of styles would be to add percent plus to a over a negative 5,000ths of an inch to the end of any dimension with a selected style. Styles can be saved as files loaded to the document. In particular, they can be loaded to the document. They can be saved as templates. They may maintain load styles. Several types of styles can be loaded into and saved with the drawing templates, including dimension, note, geometric dimension, tolerance, as well as for the finished symbols. When a style is loaded into template, any document that created from the template can use any of the loaded styles. For many types of styles exist mainly with the transfer styles from one document to the other, but they aren't needed after the style is loaded. As a result, before assembling a template, you should gather together your styles into your library folder and load them into the template. You can load the styles by going into the interface to type the favorite. For example, dimensions and notes. Figure 24-23 show the top of the note property manager interface, which contains the style panel. So now we went to the note, and it showed the style panel for the note manager. The button in the style panel with the note manager interface have the following functions from the left to right. Apply the default attribute to selected notes. Add, update a style, delete a style, save a style, load a style. And that's your library. This section is concerned with loading a style, but after clicking the button, you can load the multiple styles of the styles at once, shifting selective through the open dialog box that appears. Even symbol types of the types that apply the drawing and dropping the design library can also be loaded as styles. However, I prefer dragging the design library because you can get a preview of the symbol with the styles you can see with only a text tab. Blocks can also be loaded into the template, use the design library, and drag and drop operators. Using custom properties and templates. Parts usefulness of the templates, they can do work once. They have replicated many of the types of excellent template with the process automation. One of the ways you can advantage of the feature putting default custom properties in your templates. In many of the cases, it's simple having a default value of something is better than no value. a default value more evenly prompt to have more of the surreal significance in the property. For example, the description documentation is extremely important, especially if you were a sequential part with a number of the file names, custom property name, description be added to your template with a default value will be used unless it is changed by then the template used in the document. You've already seen how the custom properties used in this part are instrumental in filling out the title block of the drawing. Custom properties impart in assembly documents with exactly the same as they do in the drawing. Saving a template. To save the drawing template, choose Save As and files of the type. Then save the drawing templates from the selected drop-down list. It automatically takes you to the folder of the template specified by the tools option file location templates. You may also save out the format with its own file with the edited template. Formats are needed within their own file with addition existing within the template for situations when you have the existing drawing and wants to change the size of the sheet. Then needed a format to put on the sheet. In other situations, the drawing may come in an organization from the outside contract with the used format. In this case, you're simply replacing the format with yours. You can send them your format in the template for the matter from which the contractor can create all the drawings for you. Separate formats important with the multiple sheet drawings, and when adding sheet, you can also need to add format. You save multiple sheet drawing templates with the first and second sheets having different formats on them. Alright, blocks. Blocks are an important aspect of automating drawing creation, enable you with the combined text for the sketch geometry, annotation, common feature for the drawing. Blocks are discussed in Chapter 3, working with sketch reference geometry, and Chapter 16, working with assembly sketch layouts. Blocks can be used with many purposes to indicate the following. Tolerance blocks for the drawings might change with wide the preference and process if you don't have separate formats already contained in this information. Electro-pneumatic schematic symbols that can be not stamped together, flowchart type symbols, fluid flow direction arrows, special markers calling attention to specific details, sheet formats that can be created as a block, enabling you to move them around in a single entity the more easily. You can create blocks and selecting group sketch entities, annotation symbols, then choosing tools block mate. Bottom line, getting your templates formats correct creates an excellent property to save some time with drawings automation. Many common tasks are using templates, predefined views, multiple formats, block formats, linked to custom properties. Some setup becomes more important when administering a large installation, but is also important just after yourself. One of the most important things you can establish a file library. Direct your tools, option file location paths through the tools option file location paths to the file. There's nothing quite as productive as having something that works out the right first time every time. Master it. Create format sizes A and B drawings. Copy them existing DX, DFG, DX and DWG data. Modify them as you need. Save the solid template file type. Use the title block functionality. Create an editable block and manual filled in annotation in the format. Set up a drawing template with a custom price, such as provision, drawn by, release date, other properties that you can automatically fill out with a filled in your title blocks. Also place predefined views, couple of projected views. Make sure that it save the properly sized format with your template, such that template has a sheet specific size. Master create second page format, simplified title block, placing it into 2-page drawing template. Make sure you have standalone copies on the format in the case that you have a situation when you need to update with the formats and drawings. Chapter 25, working with drawing views.